Thanks, Willie, for joining us today and sharing your experience with the whole Faceless Launchpad program that you've joined. Why don't you just start off by telling us a bit about yourself?
Sure, and thanks for having me as well. Pretty much, I'm just an average guy is how I kind of like to reference myself. And I just was one of those, called me a dreamer, but it was a guy with a hope and a dream. And I just kind of seen, here's somebody doing something. I like what it's doing. I was familiar with the internet marketing space already up to an extent. And I just saw YouTube pretty much was just a better vehicle to get into.
Yeah. All right. And as far as your career goes, I see you have some kind of award behind you. What have you done before you got into YouTube?
Oh, great question. Yeah, it's the Two Comma Club Awards. Some people know what that is. If you don't worry about it. It's not that special. But with that being said, for the last 10 years, I've already been full-time online, working from home, building products, building courses, building websites and funnels, those kinds of things, marketing, advertising, work with some pretty big name guys. There's pros and cons to that, of course, but you got to a point where I kind of didn't want to do that stuff anymore, and I wanted something else to do. And YouTube automation, I was watching the How to AI channel, as well as a couple other guys in the space, and it got my attention. And basically, I could transfer some of my skills from what I was doing over to YouTube automation, but at the same time, with something completely different that I really wanted to get into and learn the skill set.
Yeah, sure. Why did you think that YouTube was like the next thing for you? Was there anything in particular that intrigued you, or?
Oh yeah, a lot of things actually. Biggest thing is one, I'm not building products, not building courses, not chasing sales. That was a good thing. I want to get my freedom back. Long story short, the other big thing is YouTube. It's not going anywhere. It's owned by Google. If anyone didn't know that by now, and it's the second largest search engine. So there's a lot of pros there. So if everybody's watching YouTube, and I just kind of look at the long view as well. They want to replace television, so they're going to, and there already are some, even my stats are already, I'm getting more TV views than mobile views, but long story short, there's going to be money in there. You can partner with $1 billion business, make money just from people watching your videos, and I don't even have to make my videos myself. That was the big pull for me. I could outsource it, I could manage it, and then for me, there's an infinite possibility. One channel can do X number of dollars. What about 2, 3, 4, et cetera channels? And that's a long-term play where I could start to grow that. On the other side of that, I have a wife and kids, and they were doing events, and I didn't want to get tied up on another call or a business meeting or anything else while they have events going on. And I kind of look at YouTube a little bit differently, maybe too. I look at it as an investment opportunity because my oldest son, he's a junior. He had in high school, he has 1 year left. When he goes to college or university, I can give him a channel. He doesn't have to get a job. He doesn't have to work. He can just maintain what's already established, and I can go make myself another one if I want to. So a lot of advantages. I could talk about it all day, probably.
Yeah, like a family business almost.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm starting to teach them. The kids, they get interested. They're kids. They're going to do whatever. Then they keep seeing the stats in my YouTube analytics. They're seeing the money going up. Now they're asking questions. So just let them come to it on their own. But they can edit, they can still make thumbnails, they can do basic stuff right now, and they're teenagers, you know what I mean? So once they take it seriously, I wish I would have started when I was a teenager, you know what I mean? So they can have such a farther head start than I can already.
I think that's really cool since they will, I'm not really a teenager myself anymore, but it wasn't very long since I was, right? So I think that is quite interesting, just due to the fact that they'll most likely have a very good understanding of content online, and that might help you. But that's awesome. Like before you joined the Faceless Launchpad or did anything related to us, did you run any challenges yourself at that point? How did that go for you? And challenges?
For sure. I had a channel. I would say I had a channel unsuccessfully, but that's what most people do. Like there's a lot of information out there. Everyone has an opinion, I guess is what they said. And I actually had a channel very similar to How to AI, and that's what I wanted to get involved with. And I was following what you were doing. I'm like, okay, I come from a space where if you want to be successful, find somebody successful, do what they do. And that was my idea initially there too. But at the same time, I didn't have the same information you had. I didn't have the same knowledge you had. And you just don't know what you don't know. And it always seems easier to start with, but then you get into that. If you're not doing it the right way, there's cost that you don't know about. There's a lot, even just how the whole YouTube algorithm and the whole process, the scripting and voiceover, the whole 9 yards there. you just don't know. So you have to get involved. I actually reached out to you before you even had the program. At that time, you weren't even doing any kind of coaching. So then when you had a program, I was actually the first person to actually purchase it. So I knew what I wanted from the beginning. And that's months before you even launched it out. So that was a good thing there too. But I saw the direction. I saw someone successful doing it, and you were in alignment with what I was doing. So I was all in.
Yeah, perfect. Well, what would you say was the biggest challenge that you had when you were running that channel yourself without any guidance?
Yeah, I think there's a few. The biggest thing is getting the right information. Everybody, like, you can watch a million YouTube videos. Sure, a lot of people are going to tell you the basics, write a script, get a voiceover, get the videos edited, hire a team. Anyone can tell you that. But then going inside and actually doing that, it's a whole different story. Or I think a lot of people where they get stuck, myself and specifically as well, trying to do it yourself there too. You got time or money. You may have more of one than the other, but doing it yourself and not knowing what to do while you're doing it, that can be a long road. And I think a lot of people try to do that to quote unquote save money. They don't really realize they're spending more money than what it would have been, because like you have an hourly rate, whatever you might be earning. And if I'm spending 5 hours plus whatever I would be getting per hour just to make a thumbnail or to make a video, I'm really kind of losing money in the process too. So just understanding the overall process, getting the right blueprint, and then even when you make it, there's definitely different qualities of videos or different qualities of scripts, and how you can improve on that. I was just lacking. And anyone does. Anything you start off, anyone starting anything new, you're always missing something.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about myself, but what you said there with the whole, saving money and time. I believe when I started YouTube myself 2.5 years ago, I probably spent like 6 months of my time and like above $7,000 at least in just making a bunch of content that I wasn't really sure about. So I really resonate with what you're saying, but as I said, I don't want to make this about me. So like you've made this transformation kind of with YouTube. What results have you got so far with your channel that you've created?
Yeah. Right now, like I started my main channel. I call it my main channel because I'm actually starting a second channel right now. My main channel, within the first 4 months, I crossed 5K per month. And then I'm only 5 months in. So, but I had my second consecutive 5K plus month. I was a little mad at myself because I missed 6K by like $7.46. So I'm calling it 6K anyway. But every month, like the first month, I doubled from month 1 to month 2. I 5X from month 2 to month 3. Then I doubled again from month 3 to month 4. And I added another 900 in revenue, almost $1,000 in revenue for the 5th month. And I'm just starting the 6th month here, this month here. So I'm excited to see what the future holds as well.
Yeah, it's quite exponential.
Yeah, it is. And it happens fast. It's like, and I think that's another thing. I think a lot of people, maybe myself included, you see all the other making money online stuff. You think, oh, $10,000 a month and 30 days or whatever else. It's possible. It definitely can happen in YouTube, but it's unlikely. I say if you give yourself a good 90 days. And I think that's one thing, starting with you and your course and your program versus me before, I had the right expectation. I'm like, this is the long-term play. YouTube, the long-term gain. Yes, you can keep making money from one video now for the next year, for the next 5 years or whatever the case. But just even getting started, it might seem a little slower than some of the other stuff that's out there. But most of the other, myself included, I tried some other things that don't work, the drop shippings, all that kind of stuff, the Facebook ads. We live and we learn. And now it's just having the right expectation going into some. I might not make, even though I did make money in my first 30 days, I went in there saying, if I don't make a dime for 90 days, that was the right expectation. I didn't have to wait that long. Luckily, I made over $200 the first month, over $500 the second, then over $2,500 the third. And the story goes on from there. But it's like just having the right expectation. And I think that's something the course really helped with. Like, here's what the process is. Everything's laid out. Here's how you go by step. And it also opened me to the opportunities of finding what is really a successful niche for myself. Because everybody has different preferences, different passions, whatever the case might be. Just because you want to start on something, a channel on a specific topic or a niche on a certain topic, that doesn't mean that's the right thing. Because I actually went into a space that was saturated initially. I didn't know that initially. I was like, oh, this is what I want to do, so I'm just going to go do it because nobody said don't do that, right? So now just looking at it and getting proof and getting the right results and testing it, to see if it's a successful niche. Here's some criteria to follow. Here's guidelines to go with. Here's how to find competitors. Like, just not having that knowledge, looking back, of course I failed. I should have failed because I didn't do things the right way.
Yeah.
But then I'm seeing it through the right lens and the right light. You get a better idea. You're like, oh, okay, this is what I really should be doing, and change the niche, and the rest is kind of history, as they say.
Yeah. Would you say that the kind of journey in the program that you went through, was it clear what you should do next, like how you should structure anything, or how did you actually experience the program itself? Did you get the right guidance?
Yeah, it's definitely getting the right guidance. And I think that's one of the things, if anyone watching this has tried anything else, that's the thing that makes a night and day difference. Like, I got other YouTube courses per se before, but like you're only as good as the information and is presented as the first thing. The second thing is you got to understand the information of another course. And the third thing, which is the biggest thing I believe in, there's no help and support. So if you get stuck, it could be a simple question if there's nobody there to answer the question.
Yeah.
And I think most people here probably tried some other things before. If you're just a number in a lot of other communities, you can't really reach, quote unquote, the guy at the top.
Yeah.
Like, we were having DM conversation before I even programmed, like, you were accessible. So that's one thing that really had me leaning towards your course and your program there with the Faceless Launchpad there too. But even once I was inside, having a coach where every week there's a call, or you're getting on an actual call physically with a person, with one of the coaches on the team, that's a night and day difference, because they all have a wealth of knowledge that I didn't have access to at the time. And they all have channels as well. So some people parrot back information versus someone who's in the trenches actually doing YouTube automation themselves. I got a lot of help that way. And on the business side, nobody really talks about that, and running channels and actual getting monetized and after monetization, like the whole 9 yards. You start to see this whole hidden field that you didn't really see. It's more than just making a thumbnail, a title, and a script and a video and putting it out there. What do you do if it's not working? How do you even know if it's working? You need to ask those questions. And just a course or product that's out there, just getting access to information, it's not going to really help you. You still need to learn from somebody who's actually doing it as well.
Yeah, I think coaching and actually getting, as you said, an answer from someone, just getting affirmation and confirmation that what you're doing is going in the right direction, that makes a big difference. Because realistically, anyone can find all information of all courses in the world online, but you don't know what you're going to do only if you have the information. Like, what would the next step be? And according to your personal situation, your own channel, not just channels in general, like what are you going to do if you come across this situation with your own channel that isn't just a one size fits all, right?
I agree. And that also shortcuts the path of success. Even if you would eventually get there, figure it out, you're losing time, you're losing money along the way, versus having somebody saying, no, Willie, do this. Okay, that's what I do. And that saves me so much time. And that allowed me to scale my channel a lot faster and make more money faster, because I'm not wasting money. I'm focusing on the things that work. It's like the 80-20 rule. I'm doing the 20% that actually makes a difference versus trying to do everything myself, trying to figure it all out along the way. And while you're trying to figure it out, also know what's good and bad. Like, nobody just starting out, just being honest, knows that. You have to, just like going to a university. If you could just go into your job field without any experience, everyone would do it. It's the same thing here. You have to have a university, quote unquote, to learn. And that university is the Faceless Launchpad.
Yeah, nice. You mentioned before that you were on path for starting your second channel. Would you say that your whole strategy and your whole workflow has become a lot more clear since going through the course, that you know what you're going to do with the second channel, that you know how to scale further?
Yes. So the big thing there too, and I actually got that from the coach I was working with your course. I was going to go into a whole other niche, and like sometimes the simple answer is the right answer. Like, just getting a different point of view. He's like, well, you already have a successful channel. What if you did something close to that successful channel? That really helped me out. So I had already had a couple other ideas for the second channel. Instead of going and researching a whole new topic, I picked another topic very similar to my channel, just slightly adjacent to it. But by doing that, it saved me the whole process, because I can actually use my same editor. I can use my same script writing that I already do, and then the voiceover and everything else. It was just one of those aha moments people get sometimes. And instead of going to try to rebuild a whole new animal, I just kind of just created something else duplicating what I'm doing. I actually launched that in 2 days on Wednesday. I actually got a pre-monetized channel that's already kind of tuned up and ready to go with that, and getting access to that. Like, I didn't even know these things existed before you get into like not knowing information. That can be your biggest enemy sometimes. And with the course here, getting an A's channel or a monetized channel, most people don't know that. Or even if you know to do that, well, where do you actually get these things? And that's another thing that you guys offer as well, which was a good bonus. So getting that, going through that process, and then having somebody else, just even something simple like, how do I change the AdSense over after I do that? Like, that's just a basic question for most people probably, but you just don't know what you don't know. So that channel is ready to go. I already got like 21 videos ready for that channel to launch out in 2 days. So I'm excited to see with that. But there's the saying, at least that I've heard before, success leaves clues. So if I'm doing something similar to what I've done before, I should get a similar result. If one channel can make me 6K plus per month in a very short time, I have no doubt a second channel can make me 6K plus. And if I ran into problems, that's what the coaching's there for there too. I still got somebody else to ask questions to from a brand new channel that I'm launching. So now I'm going to double the income without doubling my time invested into it.
Yeah, that's really cool. You don't really know it until you experience it, right? But with your channels and with the new income source that you've created, I don't know if you currently work some other job on the side or whatever you do, but with your YouTube channels, would you say that has actually made a difference to your life? How do you envision YouTube actually helping you and your family when you start these new channels and when you actually earn good money from YouTube?
It's 100%. It definitely helps. And for me personally, I might look at it slightly different. Like, I'm getting older. We're all getting older. I got 3 kids. All in the high school age. Pretty soon they're going to be leaving home, so you got to start thinking about those things there too. And for me, I'm like, why do I want to? Yes, I have a full-time job. I was working a full-time job, but I'm actually in the process. Probably the next month or two, depending how quickly the channel scales, I'll be leaving that job. So that's a good thing. So you obviously, one, you have to replace income. My first channel is at 6K plus per month. That's growing. I'm modeling the second channel after that. I'll be good on that side there too. In most places in the world, even just the one channel, 6K a month, decent money, no matter where you live, at least starting out. So one, replacing my income. I was able to do that in hour a day extra. So yes, you got to put in a little work. It doesn't happen automatically, but man, an hour a day for the rest of my life for a 90-day period, I'll put in 90 hours of work to get some freedom. So hopefully anyone else would do that there too. Just makes sense. But for me, I kind of look at YouTube as an investment. I haven't heard anyone talk about it that way. It's like, when my oldest son, he's 17, he has 1 year of school left, right? And he'll be going to university or college, right? So what do most teenagers do? They got to go to college, and then they got to get a job, and then I can just give him a channel, or he can build his own channel. And now he's going to have revenue that, one, can pay for the college itself, but two, give him money while he's at school. And it's not a lot of work. Again, it's not going to interfere with his studies. It's not going to interfere with putting 40 hours or 20 hours a week trying to earn an income somewhere else just to get some pizza money or whatever the case might be. He'll have some actual money, and he's learning a skill. And I think that's the biggest thing, even for myself. It doesn't matter if I started a brand new channel. I have a skill. I can make as many channels as I want. Like, even if my channel got hacked or stolen, I could start a new one tomorrow and build it up relatively quickly. And that's a skill that it's invaluable in my experience and in my opinion. But with that also, it gave me a skill that a lot of people, let's be honest, have jobs they don't like and or hate. Some people do. I don't hate my job, but I wanted something different. And because my kids are older, every night of the week, I'm going to a different sporting event or something else. You can't be taking calls or webinars and doing all this other stuff if you want to spend time with your family. So for me, if the kids are off, or if I got to take my wife to the airport, or whatever's happening during the day, I'm in a position where with YouTube automation and working from home, it really is that 2-hour work a day. And that's just managing stuff. That's if you're doing something. Once you're managing it, then I can also manage more teams. So anyone who wants to work from home full time, that's a whole other path and career. And that's what I'm transitioning to right now. Again, 30 days, 60 days, I should be out of the old job completely, because the new income replaces the old income. And now at that point, now I can go 100%, really 8 hours a day if I really wanted to, on YouTube automation and grow as many channels as I want.
Yeah, that's inspirational. One thing that I've actually seen with another client that we work with as well is that once you actually see success with your first 1 or 2 channels with YouTube, a very common trend is that people start looking at how you can also bring your family members out of their job and actually kind of either just completely replace their income with whatever money you're earning, and they don't have to work, or employing your people from your family and actually partnering with them to build channels. And that's a very, very cool and inspirational thing that I honestly wish that I did myself when I started seeing success with YouTube. But how would you say, or what, like, would you say you've kind of gotten into this already, but what would you say the impact of working with me and my team at Faceless Launchpad have been to your entire journey? Do you think that you would have gotten the same results as fast, or?
Definitely not as fast. That's the biggest thing there too. Access to information is the biggest thing. You guys have the information, and also back that up with access to the right information, because there is a lot of wrong information out there. People that will sell you something if you got a credit card and just get you in a course just to get you in a course. You guys aren't. You guys are approachable, yourself included. You're the guy who owns the company and everything else, but even the coaches as well. They check in. Like, a lot of people will fall off of a course program. A lot of people start, not a lot of people finish. Yeah, but if you got somebody checking on you every single week and multiple times per week, that keeps you going, and it gets the questions answered. So it would definitely been a longer journey if I made it at all, 100%.
Awesome. Yeah, that was kind of the most questions that I had. I might actually have a few ones. Would you say that is YouTube something that you expect to retire off? Is YouTube what you want to do, like, full time? How do you envision YouTube being in the coming 5 years if you want to keep on working that long?
Yeah, for sure. So it's definitely something I want to do full time. I'm actually in the process of doing that. Within the next 2 months, I should be out of the old job. So it really can replace your current income is the first thing. Yes, I could definitely retire early with it, but it's one of those things, like, I don't think I would, just because it's not hard. Once you know what to do, you're doing the right things. It's manageable, and it's just the income earning opportunity is so high there. You can make as much money as you want. Some people want 100K a year. Some people want $1 million. Whatever number I really want to reach, it's just how many channels I want to have, how deeply I want to go deep, go vertical, and scale one to X number of dollars, 10K, 20K, 30K. I can have 2, 3, 4, 6 channels if I wanted to as well, though, too. So even, quote unquote, as I get older, out of retirement age, I mean, I'm not really working that hard as it is. Like, why cut the money off? And even if I did, the other opportunities there at that point, okay, now I've built a solid channel. I could sell it if I wanted to. I can have a whole bunch of opportunities at the end of the day, or pass them off to my children. That's what I would probably do. Keep it in the family, kind of build a generational wealth, and just pass them off. And then if I want to sell something down the line, but I actually enjoy it. It's less stress than anything else out there. I've done drop shipping. I've done affiliate marketing. I've done product creation, course creation, coaching, consulting, all that stuff. YouTube's the easiest model. And it's also the most lucrative. Like, YouTube's not going anywhere. It's owned by Google. You don't have to worry about them shutting down, like a TikTok even shut down, right? And so, like, you just don't know what you don't know. Drop shipping, you got to buy stuff up front and store it or ship it from overseas, and refunds and credit cards and chart. Like, you don't have any of that with YouTube. Just the AdSense alone can make you enough money. But I've also had brands approaching me for, like, sponsorship deals and things of that nature. That's a whole nother revenue stream if I want to go that route. And or affiliate marketing, I can definitely find products and build them out according to my channel, and or brand deals, or whatever the case might be. But I'm finding, even just with the ad revenue that's coming in, again, like 6K, 7K a month, that's good money for most people. And that's just one channel. And now I have a second channel and a third in the product, and the works in the back of it. Just 3 channels doing the same amount. We're talking 18, 20 grand off of that. And that's good where you're at in the world.
Yeah, definitely. If you could, apart from getting access to the right information and, getting access to very experienced people that have done YouTube for a long time, could you describe your experience with Faceless Launchpad? Like, where did you get the most value apart from that information and knowledge? Sure.
So the layout of Faceless Launchpad, it's straightforward. And one thing I like that you did in there as well, you explain everything, because somebody telling you to do something is one thing, but knowing why that thing works, that's an entirely different ball game there too. So you don't just say do A, B, and C. Like, here's why you do A. Here's why you're doing that. Do B. Here's why you're doing it. And it's also chronological. It goes in order. Like, I don't have to guess what to do next. Like, it's step by step. It really is step by step. And I know a lot of people say stuff like that, but it's the step by step with the knowledge of why you're doing each step as well. So it takes both of those, knowing what to do and knowing how to do it, or why you're even doing it. Both of those right inside the course, even without any coaching, anything aside, the course alone is a solid course. Then the coaching in addition to that, the calls with you in addition to that, that's like the icing on the cake that really just pushes it over the edge.
Yeah, awesome. And how likely would you be to recommend, to someone who might want to start some kind of income source or create some kind of income stream, start an online business, potentially YouTube? How likely would you be to recommend Faceless Launchpad to that person?
I would 100% recommend to anybody else. I will say, as with anything, there's an investment, but there's a lot of things I've bought in the past that I've wasted money on. That's way more expensive than the investment of this course. So I feel like I got a deal because I know what's out there.
Yeah.
But just the return. 1 month, I easily make my total investment back plus more. So anything after that's 100% profit. I was profitable from the beginning, but 100% would recommend that to anybody who's looking for something new, looking for a career change, looking for retirement, whatever you're looking for, more money in general, without a headache, without trying to get ripped off or scammed. This is definitely the route I would recommend to anybody for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Would you say, because obviously you're not as young as me, I'm 20, and you talk about retiring soon. Would you say that like the age matters anything in the YouTube game or YouTube space? How would you say, is it like an approachable business model for all kinds of people, or do some people have an advantage, if that makes sense?
For sure. I'm 100% open and transparent. I'm 49. So that's two things. I think there's two things there too. Another thing there too. One, you got to be willing to learn from people. Nobody knows it all. And I could be like, oh, I'm not going to learn from this young guy, whatever else. But young guys know something that I didn't know. So I had to get access to that information. But age, it's not really a factor. Like, if you really want to talk about the basics, like you're writing a script, you're making a voiceover, you're getting a video created or doing it yourself, and you're uploading it. Like, there's really 4 steps to the process. How efficient and proficient you are at those steps definitely makes a difference. That's where the details come in. But it's not a hard model. I could do this at 65. I could do this at 85. And I have older people asking me, even older than myself, asking me about YouTube automation now. And all things of that nature. So it's something that's there. It's also something we're younger. Like my youngest son's 13. He has like a shorts channel with gaming, like definitely outside of what we're doing here, but he has the interest at least. So the young mind wants to know, everyone in between, the older people want to know. And it's something that, if you really think about it, what other job can you really do 30 minutes, maybe an hour a day, if you really want to push it a little bit and make good money from it? There's nothing else really out there that's going to do it. And it's definitely beats for anyone who's getting older. I'm definitely not at retirement yet, but I can retire early. I keep that in mind. But it's like, what else are you going to do? Like, you're going to retire, depending what country you're in the world, and go work at Walmart. That's not a plan, to work 8 hours a day for minimum wage, right? No. Where I can work an hour here a day and make more than a monthly income at a good salary.
That's awesome, man.